To start working on my right Mandalorian thigh plate, I created a template and printed it out. I created a scale on my template so that it's printed out to an accurate size. I traced out my paper template onto a 6mm Sintra base. This template can be used on EVA foam and Sintra. Here I am taking a box cutter and getting a rough cut of my template out of the Sintra. After I was rough cutting my thigh plate out of the Sintra, I was then able to take it to my bandsaw to get a more accurate cut to my template. Once I was done at the bandsaw, I took it back to my workstation to get the rough edges off of the corners of this piece. So I used a sanding sponge and some other sanding blocks to get rid of the burrs on this thigh plate. I then cut out the trim pieces of the paper template and cut it into sections. I cut my template into sections here because I didn't have enough material to make one long continuous strip of the entire piece. I took one of the longer sides that I was able to cut here out of my other 6mm Sintra, the box cutter and a straight edge ruler. I also cut two smaller pieces of the top and bottom trim out of the same 6mm Sintra. Here I'm using a PVC glue to prime and get the Sintra trim pieces ready to be put onto the thigh plate. Since Sintra is a foamed PVC plastic, this PVC cement that's usually used for piping works perfect for this material. After using some safety gear like a respirator, I took my heat gun and formed the outer edges of the trim. To finish the trim for this thigh plate, I took my Dremel and beveled the edges of the entire piece, both of the sides, and then I went to the top and bottom corners of this thigh plate. I then primed and glued the other pieces of the trim onto the thigh plate using the PVC cement. I also used some blue tape to hold the trim onto the piece as I continued to work on my thigh plate. Once the entire piece had been cured and set for about 12 to 24 hours, I used my respirator and a hot heat gun to form the thigh plate to my thigh to have an accurate curvature for my body. And now, this is what I'm left with. The final product of using the Sintra and my template to make a right thigh plate based off of the Mandalorian TV show and Din Djarin's version 1 right thigh plate. It curved very well. The trim also came out very well. I wish I had long enough material to make a full piece. Because I made segments, there was some gaps at the corners where the Sintra trim met, so I went in with some Bondo after this to fill in the gaps. Overall, I'm happy with how this turned out. Thank you all for watching this video. If you could, please leave a like and subscribe. Comment down below if you have any questions or would like to see anything else made in the future. Once again, thank you, and I'll see you all in the next one. Later.